At ease, brothers. Shalom. Man, in today's video, man, I want to talk about a former Green Beret, that has served his country with the utmost loyalty, resigning from his post, resigning from office. And we'll also talk about the precious metal markets and why today, out of all days, is a great day to buy. Let's talk about it.
The Matrix is everywhere. It is all around us. Even now, in this very room. You can see it when you look out your window or when you turn on your television. You can feel it when you go to work, when you go to church, when you pay your taxes. It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth. What truth? That you are a slave. Like everyone else, you were born into bondage. Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself. This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill. The story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
All praise to the Most High Yah Shalom. Thank you for tuning in to another righteous Ruach Spirit-filled episode. Today I'm back at it in them trenches, handling that kingdom business with another episode of The Set Apart Man. Man, this is the channel where we teach men to live set apart, how to be more obedient to the word of the Most High Yah, and how to navigate this wicked world according to righteousness. Man, I'll ask you this question. The troops on the ground today that think that they are fighting to win the nation's wars. What are they fighting for? Are they fighting for freedom? Or are they fighting for resources? Are they fighting for an agenda that they're not aware of? Man, I dropped a video earlier today pretty much encouraging men not to drink the Kool-Aid. The title of that video was, Should Young Men Fight to Win the Nation's Wars? You can go check that out. I break down some things in there, based upon the experience that I have, and, encourage men that you might want to think twice about joining the military. Because let's face it, man, we have former Green Beret Joseph Kent that put in his resignation letter. And then the FBI, like when you speak out against this system, man, they're going to come after you. That's just the way it is. When you speak out and bring to the surface, things that are going on that don't make sense, according to somebody who has a long-standing history of being a war fighter, and the most loyal war fighters in their war fighting function are withdrawing, hey, we've got a big problem. Man, this is Director of National Intelligence, National Counter-Terrorism Center. It's addressed, President Trump, after much reflection, I have decided to resign from my position as director of the National Counterterrorism Center, effective today. I cannot in good conscience support the ongoing war in Iran. Not in good conscience. Iran posed no imminent threat to our nation, and it is clear that we started this war due to pressure from Israel and its powerful American lobby. I support the values and the foreign policies that you campaigned on in 2016, 2020, 2024, which you enacted in your first term. Until June of 2025, you understood that the wars in the Middle East were a trap that robbed Americans of the precious lives of our patriots and depleted wealth and prosperity of our nations. In your first administration, you understood better than any modern president how to decisively apply military power without getting us drawn into never-ending wars. You demonstrated this by killing Qasem Soleimani and by defeating ISIS. Early in this administration, high-ranking Israeli officers and influential members of the American media deployed a misinformation campaign that wholly undermined your American First platform and sowed pro-war sentiments to encourage a war with Iran. This echo chamber was used to deceive you into believing that Iran posed an imminent threat to the United States, and that should you strike now, there was a clear path to a swift victory. This was a lie, and is the same tactic that the Israelis used to draw us into the disastrous Iraq war that cost our nation the lives of thousands of our best men and women. We cannot make this mistake again. As a veteran who deployed to combat 11 times As a Gold Star husband who lost my beloved wife Shannon in a war manufactured by Israel, I cannot support sending the next generation off to fight and die in a war that serves no benefit to the American people nor justifies the cost of American lives. I pray that you will reflect upon what you are doing in Iran and who we are doing it for. The time for bold action is now. You can reverse this course and chart a new path for our nation, or you can allow us to slip further towards decline and chaos. You hold the cards. It was an honor to serve in your administration and to serve our great nation. Signed, Joseph Kent, Director, National Counterterrorism Center. Man, oh man. You know, man, I've been reading from some fellow veterans that served with him, went through the Q course with him, and man, when you think about people that have been invested in defending this country and they're pulling out, man, we've got a problem up top. We've got a problem with our leadership. You know, man, these people, like I posted in the video where the so-called leader says, man, he regrets not joining our military. But wait a minute, man, I've got experience with people ducking and dodging while in military service. Man, they got diarrhea. You know, they got shin splints. They got all kind of medical issues that stop them from going across the pond. But yet they want command and control. I tell you, man, as men, man, you truly need to think about, you know, what are you fighting for? What is this country, you know, sending thousands of men and women across the pond to lose their lives for? Is it freedom? What is it for? You know, because they will spin the narrative to deceive thousands. Man, when you have countless war fighters, and I'm talking about highly decorated veterans, you know, that aided to some of the success that we've had as a country are pulling out, we've got a problem. We've got a problem where we've got so many people in office that are calling the shots but are war dodgers themselves. And it's time that if they want these wars to be fought, man, they send their sons and daughters over there. What's wrong with their sons and daughters? How come their sons and daughters don't want to demonstrate the same patriotism that they will use to spin the narrative to have thousands of people, you know, go across the pond and lose their lives behind, you know, this so-called conflict, which they won't label as a war, and there's a reason for that. I tell you, young men need to wake up, because if your grandfather or great-grandfather served, what they were fighting for is something completely different. What our country's up against. Our country's flat out broke. You know, you can look at the debt ceiling, and you'll realize, dang, as they print off more money to bail out the elites, to bail out the Fed, to line their pockets, we're flat out broke. And what do broke people do? They pick fights with other people because other people have, and the broke people do not. They have not. I tell you, man, when our country is prospering, you're not going to see us wanting to engage in all this conflict. But when the signs are telling you and everything is pointing towards, man, our nation is going broke, man, you might want to fend for yourself and your family. Man, that leads me into my next talking point. Today, out of all days, is a great day to be buying and purchasing precious metals. Many Americans are deceived into thinking that when you are going to work Monday through Friday or whatever days you work, that you're working for money. And the reality is you're not working for money. You're working for currency. Man, we have the current price of gold, you know, $4,582 an ounce. Man, that's down $500, you know, within the past 2 weeks. We've got silver at $70.15. That's extremely down. We've got platinum at $1,979. Okay, man, when you look at the price of silver, man, right now on JM Bullion, you know, is a great website. Man, you can get an ounce of silver shipped to your door for $76.72. If we go to JM Bullion, let's go here. Let's see what we can get it for over here, shipped to your door, because they're dropping the price on some of these premiums, and we definitely need to. And now is definitely the time. If you want to get in on it, now's the time. Man, you got on SD Bullion, man, you can get an ounce of silver shipped to your door for $73.18. We go to AppMax. Let's see what the AppMax is. You can get an ounce of silver shipped for $79.65. We go to Bullion Max. You can get an ounce of silver shipped right now for $73.49. Man, the time is now. You know, I've been watching this for the past 2 years, and man, we are experiencing a economic shift. Our country's flat out broke, and the last thing you want your money tied up in is their fiat paper currency. There is no value to it. The system is gonna fail, just as it did in Zimbabwe. We're experiencing hyperinflation, and meanwhile, these elites that are dodging war, man, they're lining their pockets. At the end of the day, when it comes to actual money on a global scale, precious metals might be your only chance of surviving this thing, as those that invested in precious metals, that when Zimbabwe's economy crashed, those were the only people that survived it financially. Man, today is a great day, according to my opinion. That's just my take. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial, I'm not a financial counselor or anything, but I'll tell you. But for me and my household, man, I would recommend that you buy precious metals, you buy bullets, you buy seeds, heirloom seeds, you start growing your own food if you haven't already. Man, I've got other content talking about this because you cannot count on this system. The system is falling apart. Just like the Roman Empire fell, man, they stood it up everywhere that you see a country that has an eagle on their flag. And that system is failing once again. Once again, this is the Set Apart Man, kicking that thing gun barrel straight. Until next time, stay set apart, stay disciplined, and stay in the word of the Most High Yah.